This is International Boxing News, and I'm joined by Coaimhin Agyarko. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Just chilling out. Only had one session today, so yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Perfect. So I'll get straight into it. So you're just coming off a very solid win against Lukasz Maciec. I was in the arena for that fight as well, and I thought you had a great performance. I thought you beat him better than Fowler did in the fight previously. How did it feel to get that win and get the win the way you did as well?
Yeah, obviously it was good to get the win. I think that's the most important thing. But um, in terms of my performance, I was happy but not satisfied. I feel like, yeah, it was my first fight at 154, and um, obviously coming down in weight and stuff like that, I had I didn't want to put too much. Put my foot on the pedal too early and gas out late, not knowing how well I would cope with the weight. But yeah, listen, I had a lot of things going on behind the scenes in terms of, like, I knew I was going to be changing gyms and stuff like that. So considering everything that was going on, yeah, it was a good performance.
Perfect. Was that kind of, obviously you mentioned even before the fight, you meant we'll get onto you changing trainers in a minute, but was that kind of a bit was that kind of difficult to kind of deal with in the lead up to that fight, knowing that after that fight you were gonna change trainer? Was it difficult to deal with?
Yeah, without doubt. It's very mentally challenging, that fight. Just in terms of, like, I wasn't happy throughout camp, and then obviously having to make a new weight fight week. I only had 10 hours sleep from the Monday to the Friday, because I was just thinking about obviously having to have a chat with my coaches after and stuff like that. So to obviously have probably potentially the biggest fight of my career in terms of a good opponent in Maciek, and then moving down in weight and then having everything else going on behind the scenes. Yeah, it was mentally challenging.
Was how so obviously you said it was kind of very mentally challenging. How do you, obviously it takes a lot, like I can't even begin to kind of think how you kind of mentally prepare yourself. What did you do kind of in that time to kind of mentally prepare yourself, trying to get over those barriers? Or was it just focus on the fight and then go into it and then like kind of move past it? How did you focus on kind of getting over those mental barriers?
Um, yeah, I think when throughout camp or like fight week and stuff, when things were getting tough or I wasn't sleeping and stuff, I just kind of had to speak to my family and just let them know what was going on. Just like talking to someone, get it off my chest. But yeah, I think I kind of just had to put it at the back of my mind and realize that I've got a job to deal with, and what will be after the fight. You know what I mean? Anything else can be dealt with after the fight. The fight's the most important thing for me, and getting the wins even important. More important. Sorry. So yeah, obviously it's hard to do, but I feel like the best thing I could have done was just not try and focus on it and focus on the fight.
Of course, perfect. And I think, and as I said, like when I started the conversation, if obviously I didn't know any of that, but even so, you wouldn't have shown it in your performance. I thought it was very impressive. Very impressive either way. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
moving on to that then. Obviously, kind of as you mentioned, you've recently changed trainers. You've moved from the iBox gym and then towards Joe McNally, in Liverpool. Kind of Joe McNally's he's got a very very talented stable there. Obviously, adding you's only added to the stable was only added to that. What kind of does Joe McNally kind of bring to your game that might not have been there beforehand?
I think in terms of, like, his boxing brain, Joe's got an unbelievable boxing brain, and I didn't realize how good it was until I started working with him, obviously. But just the way he breaks fights down and analyzes stuff, and he reads fighters, and he gets his message across to his fighters quite clearly, and just his techniques and his methods of training and stuff is kind of what I've been looking for, and he's I've needed that kind of one-to-one attention for me to move to the next step, and I feel like Joe's able to give me that, and just he's fine detailing the things that I've been doing wrong, and yeah, it's I think it's a great move for me, and it's going to be very very beneficial.
But you mentioned the kind of the one-to-one kind of training there. Kind of, is that one-to-one training very important to your new training style?
Yeah, without doubt. I mean, first and foremost, without Joe improving me as a fighter, I've got to be able to trust him. Do you know what I mean? You have to have faith in your coach and belief in his methods, and obviously be able to get on with your coach. And for me, whenever I went up to work with Joe, we gelled straight away. Our styles clicked, us as people clicked, and yeah, Joe's a genuine person. He doesn't beat around the bush. You know what I mean? If he feels away, or if he thinks something's, or if he has something on his mind, he's going to tell you, and that's what you need in a coach. Someone who's going to keep it 100 with you, and he's not one of these Instagram coaches that one of the first things he told me was, I'm not here to make you look good. I'm here to make you a better fighter, and that kind of stuck with me because he's all about business. Do you know what I mean? It's not about him or looking good or whatever else. It's about getting the wins and improving his fighters.
Perfect, and I think that does show, especially kind of from the outside looking in, when you've got the likes of kind of Liam Smith in the gym, Thomas Whittaker Hart as well, kind of, and how he's kind of progressing their careers. And I saw on and I thought I saw your manager Paul, I think Paul Reddy posted something on Instagram. I think it was along the lines of kind of I can't wait for you guys to see what I'm seeing. There's a picture of you on the pads with Joe. So no, I'm definitely looking forward to see you back in the ring. And on the topic of that kind of, when can we see you next out, Kevin? I don't know if you can tell us too much. There are rumors kind of floating around for October 29th. But can you tell us when you're back out, or can you just say very soon?
Yeah, I'll be out very soon. Yeah, I think news will drop there. I think maybe this week or the start of next. And everyone will know when I'm out. But yeah, I hope to be out end of October, start of November. Kind of, with just my team's working on a date, and yeah, we'll be dropping news very soon.
Perfect. What kind of level of opponent, or what kind of fight are you looking for, mate? Another defense of one of your titles, or is it ahead of that, or again is it going to be you can't say too much?
No, I think I'll be defending my title, and it'll be a step up in class from my last fight. I think if everything gets accepted and it's who we've been talking about, it'll be an unbeaten fighter, and it'll be a step up in class, and I look forward to the challenge.
Perfect. Well, I for one look forward to see you back in the ring. And kind of my last question, Kevin, obviously, I was just kind of doing some kind of a small bit of prep just before we kind of jumped on the call, and I went on your Twitter, and your pinned tweet, it kind of really made me wanted to ask this question. So, what would it mean to you to be the first Black Irish world champion?
What would it mean to me? It would mean everything. I mean, it would mean that I've achieved my dreams, my lifelong dreams of childhood dreams of being the first Black Irish world champion. I hold so much pride in being an Irish fighter, and realizing that I can make some sort of history and being the first Black Irish world champion would be an unbelievable achievement for me and my family. And yeah, I mean, it would just show that the hard work that I've put out throughout the years and staying consistent and never giving up is kind of something that's, if you work hard enough and you believe in yourself and you never give up, you can achieve your dreams.
Perfect. And I think as well, winning a world title is one thing, but winning a world title whilst creating history at the same time, I think is a massive moment. But Kevin, it's been a pleasure talking to you, mate, and best of luck in your next fight.
Perfect. Thank you very much, man. I
Thank you
appreciate
very
you having me.
much, mate. No worries.